Hello, welcome back to the Low Action. Today we're going to talk about the Stringbender, commonly known as the B-Bender, and we're going to get into one of my special guitars here. This is my Nashville B-Bender Telecaster. We're going to go through that. But first, let me give you a brief history of the Stringbender. Back in 1967, legendary guitar player Clarence White was recording with his band, the Byrds, and he was bending the B string beyond the nut to get like a steel guitar effect. Drummer Gene Parsons, who is also a machinist, got together with Clarence and decided that they wanted to invent some sort of device that would bend the strings while playing live. So they routed out like an old 50s Telecaster, and they took some parts off of a steel guitar, and they invented this string bender, which originally bent the high E, the B, the G, and the D strings. After fiddling around with that, Clarence decided he really only needed the B string. So they made a more simple version of it, and that's the string bender we know today. They licensed the product in 1968. They licensed it to Fender, and Fender sat on it. They didn't do anything with it. In the late 80s, they went ahead and started installing it in a Clarence White signature Telecaster from the custom shop. And there was only 200 of them made. And to find those guitars is really hard, and they're very expensive. Wasn't until, I think, 1996 when they added it to an American Standard Telecaster and started producing more of the Parsons B-Benders. And then in 2000, they released the Nashville series, which we will get into in a little bit. So let's take a look at what's under this giant metal plate on the back of my guitar and see what's inside. Shown here. This is what it would look like if you were to take the plate off. As you can see, your strap hooks onto a strap button, which is attached to a lever. When you pull down on the neck, it moves that lever, which activates a spring and lever system within inside the guitar and bends the B string on a little roller thing shown here, which is on the top of the guitar. Of course, you need a specially designed bridge with a hole drilled in it so you can run the string through that rather than string through body, almost like you would with a top-load guitar. So when you activate the string bender fully, it goes from a B to a C sharp, one full step, to give you a kind of a steel guitar bendy type of sound. You will notice there's a little roller on the back of my B-Bender, shown here. Once you have your B string in tune, you activate the string bender fully, and then you can use this roller to move it sharp or flat to make sure that your C sharp is in tune as well. What it does is it either puts more tension on the spring or a little less tension on the spring. So when your string is perfectly in tune to an open B, you activate the string bender, the full step, and you can use that roller to tune it to the actual C sharp. So that way you're always going to be in tune no matter what you're playing, and that keeps things sounding great. So now I'd like to kind of get into my B-Bender right here. This is a 2015 US Nashville B-Bender, and of course I did some modifications, as I always do to my guitars, and this one I did quite a bit. Obviously on the back, it has the Parsons Stringbender installed. Modifications I did, first and foremost, no load tone control. As I said in previous videos, I love them. I have them on all of my Telecaster. This is when you turn the tone knob all the way up, it clicks into a position and cuts out all tone circuitry. And that works on all 5 pickup selector positions. And then when you just pull it out of that little section, you have a normal tone knob. What you have in here are Delta Tone Telecaster bridge and neck pickups, which are the standard pickups on their American Standard Series Telecasters. And this is a Texas Special single coil. Obviously, I added a black pick guard and black plastic. It eventually came with a white pearloid, which mother of pearl, I call it mother of toilet seat. I do not like it one bit. So I added the black because I like the sunburst in the black. I think it looks sharp. Another thing I did on the back of the guitar, I'll send a picture shown here. I did install locking tuners and this hip shot drop D tuner. You basically just pull that lever down, it goes to drop D, push it up, back into E. So that is my Nashville. It's a poplar body and maple neck. One thing I love about this guitar is that it's the perfect mix between a Telecaster and a Stratocaster. Obviously in the Nashville setup you have 3 pickups like you would on a Stratocaster, okay? When you're in the bridge position, you pretty much have a standard Telecaster. Up here you have what I call the Mark Knopfler position, is your bridge pickup in your center picture, because of that real clean, bright tone that you would find on any other Stratocaster. Middle position, same thing. It's the same as a middle position on a Stratocaster. To me, it has a really nice mid growl. Sometimes I like to do solos with a little overdrive in that middle position because it kind of has like a mid bite that I think is kind of neat. In this position here, the 4th position, you have the neck pickup and the middle pickup, which I call the David Gilmour position because it has a real chimey, bluesy type sound, perfect for rhythm. And then in the neck position, you have your neck single coiled Telecaster. I'm not going to get into sound samples on all of these positions because it would take a long time. I'm just going to do bridge and neck with a little bit of overdrive. I'm plugging into a Fender Deluxe Reverb with a little bit of overdrive, which is a stock TS9 tube screamer, $99 right out of the box. I will be miking up with Audio Technica AT 2020, and as you can see, the EQ, everything on the amp is flat. The only effect is a little reverb from the amp and the tube screamer. Let's give it a listen. So that is my 2015 US Nashville B-Bender Telecaster. Kind of a really cool thing. It's actually like learning how to play guitar all over again. It's really, to get down some licks where you actually utilize the B-Bender, it's like relearning the guitar. It is a totally different animal. It's insane. I don't gig with it that often, mainly because the slightest bit of movement just sets that lever off just a little bit, and could kind of make you sound like your guitar's out of tune, because technically it is bending the string just a hair, just enough to set you off a 440. So I like to move around a lot on stage, and if you've seen me live, you know I can get pretty crazy. So I don't gig with it that often because you pretty much have to stand like a statue, and then you bend the string when you want it done. But little bit of movement can set it off and make you sound out of tune. So I don't gig with it that often. You heard in the opening credits from my band Church of the Lazy Bastards, I Can't Afford to Live This Way off our sophomore record, Longest Car Crash. I did record the solo in the studio with the B-Bender, so I decided to play that live for you in this video so you can kind of get an idea of what it could do in a country band setting. Well, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, hit the like button, hit the share button, share with your friends, spread the word. From the offices of Double Deuce in beautiful historic Madison, Ohio, thank you very much.